All right, let me tell you about Camden, New Jersey. This is one of the most dangerous cities in the U.S. In fact, I think it's the second most dangerous city. It's struggling to close a $26.5 billion budget gap. Well, they've got the solution, they think. Today, the city government began making deep layoffs there. As many as 335 workers. That's 1/6 the amount of total local government workforce. Got it? 1/6. They lost their jobs, including half of the police force and 1/3 of the city's firefighters. Now, I don't know about you, but I think I'd lose almost everybody else before I lose the police and firemen in one of the nation's most dangerous cities. Keep in mind, in 2009, the city had 2,380 violent crimes per 100,000 residents. Oh, is that it? That's more than 5 times the national average, according to the FBI. More than half of Camden's 80,000 residents, mostly black and Hispanic, live in poverty. Why did these cuts happen? Well, city officials, let me tell you something. The politicians and the union leaders have been lying to the people and the union members. The city officials now come to the unions, and the unions said no. Okay, so they failed to come to a deal to avoid any layoffs. This is what the mayor wanted. He wanted the cops and the firefighters to pay a little more for their health care and freeze or reduce their salaries. Okay, if anybody had any level of trust, maybe they'd consider that. But do you think there's any trust? No, because everybody's been lying to each other. So now the cops, the fire people, and the citizens are out. Unions didn't agree. They say the cuts are going to now make the city less safe. Do you think so? And in Detroit, they're facing now a $327 million deficit in their school district. We're hearing about a new plan now that would close nearly half of the schools in the next 2 years. Great! So we can make sure that kids in school in Detroit don't have a good education. Oh, this is going to work out well. It would also increase some class sizes to 62 students by the following year. The plan would save cash-strapped Detroit more than $33 million, but the president of the teachers union is already saying, never going to agree to any kind of class size like that. Can you imagine being a teacher in Detroit with 62 students? A nightmare. Where are you going to... We're going to have to build new schools? There are no classrooms that would fit that. The federal government has said that in pensions alone, there are now $2.5 trillion that are owed. All of us, all of the states, are going to be facing these problems. Now, there's a couple of ways to handle all of this. That's next. A few minutes ago, I was telling you about Camden and Detroit, 2 cities that are struggling with pension costs, and they're laying off workers. It's a problem that all of America will face soon. And they've decided that they can save money by closing schools and get rid of police officers and firefighters. That doesn't seem like, Illinois has another great idea. They're dealing with their budget crunch. Yeah, what they're doing is they're raising taxes on businesses by 60%. Oh, that'll just be the highest rate in the industrialized world. I bet that's going to work out. How much do those greedy businesses need? If between local, state, and federal taxes, they're just left with a tiny portion of their income, they should be grateful that they live in Illinois, because it's a wonderful, wonderful place, I hear. Sure, no reason to move anyplace else. No, these plans are all wonderful. If we could combine them, close our schools, fire our teachers, our police, our firefighters, drive our businesses out of state, it sounds unsustainable for some reason. Hey, you know what? It's kind of like Cloward and Piven. Let's see. Give me some time. Let's see if we can come up with another solution. One that involves principles, values, and common sense. One that doesn't involve making our children stupid, our streets unsafe, our states bankrupt, our businesses out of business. It's a big problem. States are behind in their pensions to the tune of about $2.5 trillion. To give you a handle on this, that's double what the banks said they needed, and they assisted. It's only $1 trillion when they needed TARP to save the country. Overwhelming the system, Cloward and Piven. Well, we'll take a stab at this. I don't want to say that. Is that more of that rhetoric? Oh, gee, that violent rhetoric. Okay, I won't take a stab at the problem. I will, we'll take a shot at, ooh, did it again. Well, we'll target some other, we'll remedy the situation. Now we're all safe. That's tomorrow. But I'll give you a hint. The solution is not easy, but it is simple. We'll give it to you tomorrow. Back in a minute.
My name's Phil Mason. I'm a staff sergeant in the National Guard, and I was stationed in Baghdad. Turned the TV on, and Glenn was on, and he was talking about Wilmington and inviting people from the surrounding areas to come there and do their Christmas shopping.
If you have Christmas shopping to do and you're in the Ohio area, will you please come to Wilmington, Ohio next Wednesday with me?
I immediately went on the internet, started looking for hotels, and reserved a room. And then I called my wife. I just needed to see America work. Communities coming together to help each other and not just sitting back and relying on the government to come rescue them. We rented a car, drove to Ohio from Indiana. You know, the kids had a great time. My wife had a great time. Everybody pretty much got one or two things while we were in Wilmington. And that was it. That was the extent of our Christmas shopping. We did our shopping there. The people there, they were happy and upbeat and thankful, and it was just really uplifting and for us to be a part of.
Now, I started this with the 912 Project and then 828 in Wilmington. And here's the point. Our roots are too shallow. We need to dig down, figure out who we are, what we really believe in. We need to understand the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence came out of the era of enlightenment. We need to educate ourselves, empower ourselves, and start dreaming again and create. On tomorrow's program, how to reverse the course of the herd, with special attention to our children. How do we don't even understand how this is happening. We don't even understand. We say to each other, how is it? I don't understand how they don't see this, how they don't believe this. What happened to us? Tomorrow, I think you will understand. But we're making a step on E2 tomorrow. I'll show you the beginning of how to reverse the course. Don't miss it. Find your roots. I wrote about it in a new book called The Seven. Find out about it at glennbeck.com. And we'll see you back here tomorrow. From New York, good night, America.